Hey, this is Michael, and welcome back to me and Paul's channel. We're so excited to have you here. In today's video, we're going to talk about step-by-step ways to wholesale or buy real estate directly from the property owner. But before we start, for those of you that are new, me and Paul, we like to talk about buying real estate, selling real estate, and all the exit strategies we use, like virtual wholesaling, buying and managing rental properties locally and out of state, renovation projects, private lending, and owner financing. We buy primarily through online auctions and have purchased in 44 states. And I want to make sure that you subscribe to our channel because we have new videos coming out soon, and turn on the bell so you get notified and don't miss out on these new videos. With that said, I'm going to dive into today's video, step-by-step ways to wholesale or buy real estate directly from property owners. So now let me share a screen here. All right. Share. Blow this up. So I'm just going to walk us through here a little example of how a step-by-step process on how we buy, directly from the owner, whether it's to wholesale or buy for a rental property or a rehab. We get these questions all the time, especially from newer investors. So kind of have a little decision map here where, step one is essentially lead generation. So, there's courses on different tactics that you could utilize. This one here, a lot of people do cold calling or texting. You purchase lists and you could use texting or cold call people through these lists. Bandit signs are another way people drum up leads on major intersections, posting signs. Another way to do that, if you have the budget, is actual billboards. I've known people that had success with that at major intersections. Online and offline ads. So examples of online ads are, Facebook ads, pay-per-click. We've used pay-per-click a lot in the past when we marketed to home sellers numerous years ago. And, you target on certain keyword phrases like sell house fast, what city you're in, etc. So those are ways where, someone clicks on it and, a lead would come in and hopefully a call to action to a website or to call you directly from that website. And then there's also, offline ads, what I call. If you're in a rural area, newspaper ads could work still. There's certain magazines you could target in a certain market. So there's a slew of opportunities to post ads in different newspapers and online ads such as pay-per-click and Facebook, for example. Other people, if again, you don't have much money, but you want to find certain deals in a certain neighborhood, you could drive around or walk around that neighborhood and look for vacant and ugly type of properties, and then get those addresses, mail or contact the owners to see if they're willing to sell those vacant properties. Another great marketing lead gen technique is direct mail. So that's purchasing lists and addresses basically from different list brokers. One example could be out-of-state owners to see if they're a burnout landlord and you want to mail to them on a drip campaign, kind of like 5-6 touches over every month, every quarter type of thing. And there's tons of other lists that you can target, such as code violations, vacant properties, etc. Another one that I had a lot of success with in the past is search engine optimization, or SEO. Especially if you're in a nichier area, like a certain city, town, state, you could show up and be first on basically all Google searches for certain keyword phrases. So, sell house fast, your county or city or state, you could easily show up and then you're top of the list. And most likely those people are going to click your website and fill out a form or give you a call, whatever your call to action is. This one takes time though, obviously. Another one is just consistent content marketing. You could create a YouTube channel and consistently post content to help home sellers out. It's not going to be an immediate effect per se, but it helps build your brand and credibility, and people see you over time and kind of relate to you, hopefully. And then they might be, when the time is ready, willing to sell their home to you. So these are just a snapshot of a few different ways to do lead gen to get home sellers to call you. Another way is, let's step back. So these are kind of the step-by-step process from, how to wholesale directly from owners or just to buy the real estate. So we just covered lead gen. The next step would be, okay, you pick what lead gen you want to do, hopefully all of them, and your phone starts ringing or your web forms start getting populated. So the home seller contacts you. You want to find out on the call, what their motivation to sell is. Are they just looking for top dollar? Maybe an agent would be better for them. Or is it house needing repairs, or is it an estate sale? something that a property that someone doesn't want and willing to go for an offer that would make sense for you. So that's the second step, essentially, is finding out, building a rapport with the seller over the phone, finding out their motivation, what the condition of the property is. Then step three here is you'll analyze a property. What are some comps in the neighborhood if you don't already know? What are fixed up houses selling for? What are low dollar prices that other investors are purchasing for? If it's a rental area, what are market rents in that area once renovated? And then based on what the seller tells you over the phone, if you're local, want to visit the property, you could try to figure out what the renovations would be. If you're virtual and not in that market, maybe the home seller sends you photos of the property ahead of time or a video walkthrough that will help you better determine what estimated renovations are going to be for the property and what you're trying to do with it, whether to wholesale it, renovate it, and flip it, or keep it as a rental. And then the first two essentially will help you determine what your offer is to the seller. So once you do the property analysis, you'll call back the seller or meet them in person. It depends on what your style is and if you're doing this in the same market you live in or in a different market. So if you're local and you want to meet the person, you can present the offer in person and go walk through the property to confirm all the renovation estimates that are needed and kind of give them your presentation on, here's the number that works for me, and see if that's an offer that will work for the home seller. If it's virtual, this can be all done over the phone, kind of negotiating, explaining the pictures they sent. This is how much work I need, etc. So this one is, what market are you in, and if you want to go personal or over the phone. And then once you present your offer to the home seller, you want to get the property under contract if you guys come to an agreement. So if you're in person, it might as well make sense to actually print out the contract and sign it there on the spot. If you're doing this over the phone or in a different market, DocuSign is a great way to execute the agreement of sale. We've been using it for years, me and Paul. It's a great way for electronic signatures. Sal, once your property is under contract with the home seller, it depends on what you're doing next. If you're looking to wholesale, these are the next kind of steps that you would do. You would first determine if it's, is the house vacant or occupied? And if it's, vacant or occupied, if it's vacant, it's a lot easier. You can put a lockbox on it and send your buyers through there. Just give them the lockbox code. If it's occupied, obviously you're going to have to work with the home seller on setting up times to show the property to your potential buyers. So it's an extra headache in the step, but it's easily something to get through. And then, if you're wholesaling, what type of wholesaler are you? Are you someone that assigns a contract and you have to rush and get it sold in 30 days? Or are you actually going to purchase it and resell it as is? So me and Paul, most of the time, purchase the property. So when we tell someone an offer, we'll take it down, we'll purchase it, and then it allows us multiple extra strategies. We could resell as is for cash or owner financing, or put some light renovations into it and sell it to like a conventional mortgage buyer, a non-investor. Whereas if you do an assignment, that's fine too. You just more rush to find your buyer in a 30-day limit, because once that contract expires after 30 days, you lost the deal. So, from a wholesaling perspective, you want to determine which approach you want to take here. And then you want to start the settlement process. So once you get your property under contract, you kind of start the settlement process. You sign agreement of sale to the title company or attorney, depending on what state you're in. And then you also send the EMD, which is earnest money deposit, to the title company, along with your contract. That's stated all in the contract, whether it's a few $1,000s, $500, whatever it may be. Then you schedule the closing date, and then have great communication with all parties, sellers, a title company, and if you're wholesaling, your end buyer as well. So communication is kind of key in the settlement process, so everyone's on the same page and we'll be ready for closing, so you don't have that delay. And then once the settlement process, the timeline is done and it's the closing date, congrats, you bought a house. So if you're actually purchasing it and not wholesaling it, that's great. You have another rental property or another renovation project. If you're looking to wholesale it, you basically that day collecting your assignment fee, or you're just, if it's a back-to-back, you set it up that way, you're just basically collecting the net profit from, what you purchased it with all the closing costs and what you sold it with all the closing costs. So to recap, hope this video was helpful. It's, just a step-by-step way to whether buy or wholesale property directly from the homeowner. And we kind of covered in this video lead generations, what to do when the home seller contacts you, how to analyze a property, call back the seller. What do you say? Get the property under contract, start the settlement process and buying a house. Any questions or comments, feel free to drop us in the comment section below. If you got something out of this video, please like it and share with your friends. And let us know any other topics you guys want to learn in the future. Hope this video is helpful and have a great day. Take care.